Okay. I was a little, well, busier than normal. I was a little busy yesterday. This is like overkill. This is part of a developing OCD thing, but I use this 5x5 building system, and yeah, I don't have a horse here. And I was putting torches between this village, the next village, and the raid outpost, raid farm that I got. And I determined that when the ones came from here met the ones from the raid outpost, somewhere along the line I was like one block off. And I'm using this 5x5 building system, and what I figured out is on this road, uh, in between the road that goes to the other village and the road that goes to the outpost, I instead of having 3 blocks in between torches, I had 2. So like this road's fine. I'm in the middle of fixing the torches, and then but this whole thing needs to go 1 block this way. So I was I was basically identifying it yesterday, and then as soon as I got that torch row fixed, and I had 2 spots that were wrong. One of them was the more recent torch path that I made. That was off 1 block too, and I fixed that. And yeah, I know this is fucking overkill. With all the stuff going on and the way my future's looking for streaming, I really shouldn't worry about it, but, fuck it. If you're gonna do something, do it right. I don't know if I might get one clip on this and put it up on my personal channel. And I don't watch a lot, again, because of what's going on. I just don't see the point in watching as much news as I was. I still I prefer having it on now because, and this is the same reason I did it before. I can kind of follow it because the text comes up on the bottom of the screen. If I notice they're talking about something I care, if I notice them talking about something I care, I can kind of focus on it, and it's nothing's going to be loud. There's no music, so I think the chances. This is what I think I was watching when Twitter or Twitch nerfed my audio. I don't think a news organization, if they're hearing their stuff in the background later, I don't think they're gonna launch a copyright. It's news. I don't think they're gonna launch a copyright strike. And that. I think that's something that's going to be in my past anyways, but going forward. But they had it on this morning, and they were talking to these fucking Trump supporters. And again, I promise I will not. I'm really going to try and stick to it. I'm not going to talk about this, but this kind of bothered me. And this way I can take a video of this and I can put it up on my personal channel. And but they were sitting there, pushing for nuclear energy, and they and I got up here. I fed the cats. I repacked a couple boxes. I cleaned up and put some clean clothes on. I had some really bad night sweats last night, and but they were questioning our support of Ukraine. And the only thing I could think of, the absolute only thing I could think of, was during World War II, you had these, and I honestly am not, I can't say if they were conservative or progressive or what. I don't think they were progressive. But you had these people during World War II that supported Hitler. And And again, I'm not a history professor. I'm not claiming to know everything. I know more than a lot of normal people. I know more than a lot of people who think they know a lot. Take that for what it's worth. They really don't. Um, but my God, man, it's the surrender column that we had in the United States during World War II. And this is the same group that is doing the domestic attacks. Again, I don't think it's that indifferent to World War II. Rachel Maddow's doing a podcast where she's pointing out the people that were actually put on trial for basically doing what the MAGA party is doing right now. And the first thing I saw her talking about this, she was explaining that the jury did not convict these people because they thought the government was making it up or exaggerating, and it was all evidence, it was all factual evidence, but they just couldn't believe that you had anti-American fucking pieces of shit living here that were doing this. They just figured the government, it was just so overwhelming, the evidence, that they couldn't believe it. And this is kind of scary to me. It is absolutely fucking scary to me. And, in a way, my sister got the will redone like 20 days before my mom died so she could steal the house I was supposed to inherit. And with the money and the house that I was supposed to get, I honestly think that even with my health problems, I could have maybe made a go of it. Maybe not, because my health is getting bad right now. And I think a lot of that is because of the bullshit that's going on with her trying to steal. Well, I shouldn't say trying. I think she is going to steal the fucking house from me. But I'm almost kind of glad, because with the shit going on, it's just depressing. Every day you wake up and you've got terrorist organizations, the GOP and the NRA, that are allowing and they're encouraging kids to get killed in school. You got that going on, and it's just like, why bother? I mean, I guess on some level, I just don't know if I care anymore. Okay, I'll deal with that in a minute. Okay, good. I just want to get going so I can pick up all the stuff that's on the ground before before it fades. I don't think this is all me. I think the game's fucking up right now. I think what I'm going to do is just sprint up to the other side and come back down, because I don't want to lose the dirt I can actually use. But yeah, this is really, for me, this is really fucking depressing. And the other thing they were talking about was China and Beijing, and I'm really not trying to rag on President Biden, because I think he would have been an exceptional president if times were normal. And I think he's done a good job with the fucking terror caucus that we got in the Congress and roving around the country. But I really think we needed somebody like a JFK or a FDR or a Harry, and he's not it. And I don't mean anything bad toward. I really don't. But he's just not. And anybody that thinks he's on par with them is just delusional or fucking lying. I don't know which. But but my God, it's like if if President Biden, if he would have had a JFK moment and he would have stood up, like JFK did over the Cuban Missile Crisis, if he just stood up immediately, immediately like JFK did, and announced to the world that an attack on Ukraine or any of the other European countries by Russia would be considered an attack by Russia on the United States and would be, dealt with accordingly, I think that would have put Russia in his place. I think they would have understood, okay, we can't fucking do this shit. And the thing is, though, we might not have had any credibility, because that's the when you do a bluff. Well, it ain't even really a bluff. When you do a threat like that, the big thing is that they believe it's going to happen, and I don't know if they would. But because and this goes back to Obama. There were so many. There were at least 2 or 3 red lines that were drawn, and fucking Russia ignored them, and we did nothing. And I like Obama. If he could have run for a 3rd term, I would have been more than happy to vote for him again. I really would have. But that's what I'm saying. Obama, I think, was a great president in fairly normal times. I think Biden would be a great president if times were normal. They're clearly not. They're clearly not fucking normal times. And so I don't know. I really don't know. But the whole thing with Taiwan, if Ukraine had been handled properly, I don't think fucking Taiwan would be getting, flapped at by China. I think they would just be like, oh, we can't do it. But now China is starting to fucking act up a little bit. And I think they've really backed off from where they wanted to be on this. But again, there was talk about China and Taiwan. And but I think so many of those countries that toiled under Hitler, if the right actions had been taken by our president, I think they would have overwhelmingly banded together to go in and take Russia out. Ukraine, I love Ukraine. I think they're a great country, but they can no longer say never again in regards to World War II. Because it happened again. They're allowing it to happen. They stood by and let Russia. They negotiated with Russia. Germany's the same thing. They've got a credibility thing because they, above many other countries, should understand what Russia's doing right now. I am not relocating those fucking huts I built. They are. I'll reload. I might not even relocate the lights under them, but I'll do the stuff above ground. I was so glad when I got over by the villager outpost. That one was fine. There was nothing that needed to be changed there, so that one was fine. Because I'm like, I'm not removing those, and there aren't that many buildings, but I'm like, I'm not removing the building I built over there.